I don't know about you, but I'm not the biggest fan of going out in public, especially to places that are like markets, craft fairs, expos, all this kind of stuff. The crowds, I'm like, I can't be bothered to deal with that. I also think I'm never going to find anything I want to buy. I remember once when I was a kid, I bought my mum this glass. Like it was like a wine glass that'd been really poorly painted, and then I was like, that would be a nice Christmas present, and I got it for her. I was like, why this is shit. I have been to dog fairs where it's all like independent dog businesses, and then I become irresponsible with money. So there really is no good in between. I was like a good farmer's market, you know, when they're like, oh, is this cheese? And they're like, yeah, it's cheese. And you're like, okay, well, I guess I'm buying cheese. Especially some markets in the UK, a lot of towns always have like a Saturday or Sunday market, and there's always a mix of like expensive food, actual craft items, like super expensive, like plates. And for some reason, there's always a stand with loads of wood, and then jewelry, and then there's always like a stand that's like, oh, here's a fidget spinner with some knockoff Pokemon cards and some AI posters. You know what I mean? There's always a mix of everything, and there's always a man screaming about vegetables. You know what I mean? Anyway, this is Rosie, and she goes to what I think is the US equivalent of one of these fairs.
Okay, guys, Marlboro Farmers Market is officially almost here, and I'm so excited for this season. Starting this Sunday, May 31st, the market is opening with over 30.
Oh, this is exactly what I have in mind. There's like food. There's always a dog stand where they make like the actual dog food or the little doggy snacks with some collars, you know. Yeah, this is exactly what local businesses selling their local stuff.
New and returning vendors, which means there's going to be so many amazing small businesses to shop from handmade goods, fresh food, local produce, live laser engraving, and everything in between. There's
Ooh,
seriously something
candles.
for everyone. And if
Yeah.
you know me, you know I
See, this looks good. This is a kind of market I would go to. There's food, there's like snacks you can have that day, there's like bread and shit, there's candles. This is a place I would go and leave with a good few bags. And it looks really quiet.
absolutely love supporting local businesses and makers.
Coffee,
There's
yeah.
just something so special about meeting the people behind the products and seeing all the hard work that goes into what they create. They're also giving out Marlboro Farmers Markets bags while supplies last, so definitely try to get there
Ooh,
early.
love a
And
freebie.
this is just the beginning, because throughout the week, they'll be announcing even
Ooh.
more vendors that are joining this season. The market is located at 444 Route 520, just west of Route 79, and it'll be open every single Sunday from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. throughout October 25th. So grab your coffee, bring your friends or family, and make a Sunday morning out of it. I can't wait to see everyone there and support all these local amazing businesses together.
Perfect day for market, Sunday. And you can tell also, like, these are businesses that are really into their own business. They have custom banners, they have custom, what's it called when you're a business and you make things? Branding. Looks good. So this looks really good. You're like, why is this of any importance? It's somebody advertising a local market. I forgot the word. Oh my God. With local businesses. And that's great. We've all seen things like this, right? A lot of us go to places like this. Even in cities, they have markets like this. But she has gone viral after this video. So there's copyright music where it says, POV, you attend a market that promises 20,000 people and sold nothing. And her sign says, Rosie's Woodshop, laser engraving, 3D printing, woodworking, epoxy. And she has a table with a lot of like, I guess like 3D printed stuff on. Yeah, okay. So that went viral. Not to be judgy or anything, but if I saw this stand, I also wouldn't really approach this. One, because it is just a table. It looks a bit car boot sale, yard sale, you know what I mean? But also okay, this is just me personally. I know there's loads of things you can do with 3D printing, right? Like people who are good at 3D printing are good at 3D printing. But I do find 3D printing pretty generic. And it always has those lines around it, and it's like, ugh. It's not exactly inviting. I do love that she had a mini version of her on the sign though. So again, this might be another video that you may have just watched and thought, okay, so what? So she didn't sell anything. That's kind of unfortunate, you know what I mean? And this marketplace promised 20,000 visitors and she didn't sell anything. Great. But the reaction to Rosie's video, this second one, was kind of insane. Watch these.
Zero sales with 20,000 people is not, that means that a lot is wrong. I'm gonna talk about this video and I'm gonna give her the benefit of the doubt, give some advice on how she should improve. She's already heard a lot about her products.
Okay, this is good. This is nice. Like, yeah, to have a store on 20,000 people. Not, no, that doesn't make sense to have a store. To have a store at a market with 20,000, I mean, we don't know if there was 20,000 visitors. To sell nothing at all is crazy. But then thinking about it, if you look at what she had on her table, versus what might have been there. All the handmade candles, there's always handmade like kitchen cutting boards, right? All this stuff that is really well handmade, and then you have like 3D printed stuff. I don't know. It's kind of like the AI of the art world. That doesn't make sense, but you know what I mean? It's kind of like, oh, you printed something. Great.
I'm gonna talk about her setup because that's something I'm very interested in. If I had to rate it, I'm gonna be nice. I'm finding it. The biggest thing that I notice is everything is laid out on the table with
Yeah, you can't, it's like, have you ever seen those pictures and it's like, oh my gosh, look at this, can you make anything out in this picture? And it's just this picture of a mess and a mound of everything together.
no merchandising, no displays,
Yeah.
no separation. Everything is just cluttered together. And to me, it's giving rummage sale.
That's exactly it. It's like, here's all my stuff that I empty from my attic. Does anyone want any of it? It's given that kind of sale, which people go to, but this is like a farmer's market, like business, small business. Like, come on now.
Thrift store yard sale. And it's
Agree.
not as elevated as it should be. If I'm assuming her prices are on the higher end because they're not shown. That's another thing that I would fix.
Yeah, when you're browsing somewhere and you kind of want to see the prices, you don't want to be caught off guard and be like, how much is this? And they'd be like, if this is $60 for a 3D printed ashtray.
I would make sure that my prices were listed where everyone could see them without asking. Fixing your prices, getting a price sign, fixing your branding. Your name is Rosie's Woodshop. That's a really good opportunity for you to use your laser engraver or your woodworking skills and make a sign that has your logo on it, that has
Well, yeah, I mean, yes. I mean, God, how basic thinking is that? I didn't think of it. But I mean, now she says it. It's like, of course, show your skill on your sign.
your name and what you offer instead of the chalk paint situation. Because I feel like that cheapens your brand a little bit.
Yeah, it's a chalkboard is fine for like an indie coffee shop, but like when you're a business trying to sell stuff and you don't want it to look like it's made by kids.
And it gives it more of a like farmer's market vibe. I don't know what you're going for. Maybe that's your target market. But if you want to sell your products for a little bit of a higher price or get a more perceived value out of it, changing your signage, adding more height to your table and more space in between each item. You have everything laid next to each other on the shelf, having it so all of your woodworking is displayed where you can.
And you can even see from the other people's, even like in the first video, where it's like, this is the market, whatever. People even have things at different levels. You know, there's, of course, the cake people have like cake stands. Yeah, that's the word. Different levels. You can get some acrylic boxes, some acrylic shelves, and just different level things, you know?
See the different items. It tells a story. Having your decor pieces where there's an area where it's set up like actually decorated, like how it would be in someone's
Ooh.
house. I don't know if you have space for that if you only have a table, but if you have space, having a little layout where people can see how it would be used in their space would be helpful. Also, something that shows that you hand make it if you do. I did scroll on your page and you are very good at woodworking. I think you should highlight that a lot more and highlight the personalized aspect with the laser engraving and the custom woodworking because I saw you can actually use those machines. Maybe have something about your brand and your story, like have a little flyer with your brand on it. Add height to your table, find out ways to display your products, look up visual merchandising and see how you can make a cohesive storyline or make your products flow so people walk through it and they understand what you sell. they understand the price points, and that's it. So I just wanted to hop in and give my little 2 cents because I've been seeing this video a lot. And there, she actually has some promise. Hopefully, these tips help. I make more small business content and tips on my page if you want to follow me too, as well as YouTube videos. So yeah.
That was advice worth more than 2 cents. That was really, really good advice. I feel like, again, small businesses like this, like surely in your mind, you're a creative person, right? You do woodwork, engraving. You create art pieces, right? Including the 3D printing. Surely there's a part of you that when you lay all this stuff out on a plain table with a white cloth on top, you're like, this isn't good enough for me. You can buy fold out shelves. I keep my shoes in them in my wardrobe. I have like these fold out shelves that literally can put up and take down in a minute. Put those up, like was said in this video. Put your little 3D printed vases on there, show how it's used. Put a little chair, you know, get a fold out chair, but also buy a chair cover that you can put on so it looks nice, a little table. Have a little setup. You're an artist. Come on now.
So crazy to me when small business owners come online and talk about their low quality, low effort business not succeeding when it's like you're at a craft fair. Craft fairs are supposed to be about things that required a lot of time, effort, talent, skill. You 3D printed that. It's no surprise your stuff didn't sell. It's literally
Okay. Okay. So let me tell you, okay, no, okay, yeah, okay. Let me tell you how I feel about 3D printing. I think it's really cool. I think it's really great that you can 3D print whatever you want. The machines are crazy. Fun times. 3D print yourself to the grave. I don't know what that means. But I do agree. It's at this point where all 3D printed stuff looks the same. You know, it has that jagged kind of look to it, that seam kind of look to it. And I know you can sand them down or whatever. But I do agree that as a kind of, for me, it should be kept as like a hobby. Because I just don't think it looks nice enough to have in like the lounge. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. If it's in your hobby room and you 3D printed a helmet, do you know what I mean? Like it's good for cosplay, like that kind of thing.
the AI of the craft world. You are basically
Oh my God. Did I not? Yes, I said that. We were saying
drop shipping, and it's like, yes, you may have had to pay for the materials and you may have had to spend time on the 3D printer, I guess. When you're at a craft fair, people are going to actually buy things that were crafted by a person that took time and skill to do it. Not just because you sat down in front of a 3D printer and decided to print out some stuff. Besides that, you literally have resin art. Not only was resin art a trend like 5 years ago, so you're past the time, no one likes resin art anymore because it's mostly just landfill trash. If you were like someone who knits and you make clothing, if you were like a painter, you could go there and sell your paintings, because those are all things that required time and effort and was done by a human. You coming here to sell your 3D printed stuff, I think you would genuinely have more success selling that on like eBay or something, Amazon, TikTok shop even.
Yeah, I agree. You can 3D print things like storage. I don't know, or like, yeah, like I said, like cosplayers, if somebody wants like a helmet or somebody wants like a sword, great. But I do, how funny, that's so funny. I called it an AI off the craft world. Well, I didn't say that, he said it better.
Okay, if all 20,000 people say no to you, you are the common denominator. You are doing something wrong. Her biggest issue is that she sells 3D printed items. Like, who goes to a market and wants 3D printed items? Like, people go there for creativity. They go there to purchase items that other people are really passionate about making. It's like somebody going to the store to buy food for a party, and the food's already pre-made, and they say it's homemade at the party. Like, it's not yours.
It's not the best analogy, but I get what you mean.
A machine did that. But notice how it also says woodworking. When I looked at that table, it all looks like 3D printed stuff. Like, I would say the vast majority of that is not her actually making it. A second big issue is that there's no prices on her sign. Like, people go to these, they obviously have a budget in mind. How do they know how much your items cost? They have to go up to you and ask you? And then she made a follow-up video saying how much hate she's getting. But then she says, leave me alone in the video. Like, people are already leaving you alone as it is.
Okay, guys.
Listen, I don't mean to stifle someone's creativity, but I do agree with a lot of these people are saying. I don't think 3D printing is something you should sell. Woodworking, come on now. Make like 5 or 6 examples of what you can make with woodwork. Take custom orders at the fair. You know, have some things that are easy to make, ready to sell. Everyone likes a wooden fruit bowl. Who doesn't like a wooden fruit bowl? I don't like a wooden fruit bowl, but a lot of people like wooden fruit bowls. Coasters, you can whack up some coasters, make some coasters out of wood. Everyone likes a wooden coaster. Everyone needs coasters. Tables, make a table. But I do know what everyone's saying. If you, next time you go to a market, you will find a 3D printed store. They got 3D printed dragons. They got 3D printed spiders. They got 3D printed face it. Like, it's just like, oh, okay, well, what now? What now? It's something a kid buys for their room, and then when they get to a teenager, they're like, I'll just throw this out. Okay, Rosie did have something to say to all this feedback she was receiving.
Okay, so that happened on Instagram. That happened on TikTok. And then people were really, really mean. And then this.
So she's put up comments or messages, I think, on the screen. It says, looks like your post struck a chord with some people out there. Don't let their hate get to you. The internet is full of awful people, but you've got friends among all the good ones. Let the haters hate and you keep growing your page and posting consistently like you have been. Keep up the great work. You know, one thing I don't like is when somebody is receiving feedback, and yes, some people do it quite harshly, but to be like, they're just haters, it's like, you know how Gordon Ramsay gives feedback? I mean, he pisses me off to no end, but you know how he gives feedback? It's not because he's a hater, it's because he's a dick. Like, it's quite intense, you know what I mean? But it's not because he's a hater. It's because that's his style of giving feedback. And we saw a few different styles of giving feedback just then. The first girl that we saw, lovely feedback, genuinely really valuable feedback. And then we had the second person who was a bit harsher, but totally right. And then the third person who was a bit jokey about it. So like, come on now. Not everyone's a hater. People just have different ways of giving you feedback. And like what was said in the last video, if 20,000 people didn't buy anything from you, the common denominator is you and your stuff. I get that it must not be nice to receive this kind of feedback online though.
And I'm so thankful for the community, the maker community, the random strangers DMing me, like all of these messages. Like, it was a really hard last few days, but you know what? I'm just gonna come back stronger. And you guys can hate me all you want, but yeah. Leave me alone.
You want people to leave you alone, don't make another video. Also, can I just say something? I don't think people hate you. No one's at home seething because of what you've done. I think they're just trying to understand why you would think that what you're selling is valuable in terms of the 3D printed stuff. What I think she should take from this, you know, a bit of self-reflection might be needed from this. I don't think you have to take on board all the horrible comments, although when they're right in front of your face, they're a little bit difficult to ignore. But I do think a little bit of like, okay, what am I doing here? Everybody has said 3D printing is shitty and it looks shit and it looks cheap and my store is shit and it looks like a yard sale. So what should I do? What should I do? Should I concentrate on one thing and make that my business instead of trying to do too many other things? And of course, people also had things to say regarding this whole situation. Justin here says 3D printing can be a skill if done right. I've designed and printed my own custom sonic screwdriver from Doctor Who. This is exactly the kind of person who would have a 3D printer. A Doctor Who fan. Those are good though. That looks fucking good. That does look good. See what I mean? Like cosplay, like, oh, I'm making props. I think it's cool. Can we talk about this too? This from one of her recent videos. Is that what she's selling? What even the fuck is that? It looks like pancakes made from wood. Wow. I need somebody to tell me what these are even supposed to be. Yeah, I wonder what it is. I think it's like a cosmetics tray that you can't really put anything on. You know what I think should come of this situation? Rosie wasn't in the wrong for doing anything. She was just making things that she liked and she thought other people would like. But when it came to actually trying to sell it, nobody liked it. Nobody wanted it. Because when you go to fairs like this, and in general, especially fairs like the one in this video, you expect handcrafted, handmade food, furniture, dog food, crochet maybe, like things that are like a skill that takes people time, because a lot of the time it's sold at a slightly more premium price because that time has gone into it. So something like a 3D printed anything alongside that looks cheap and it looks effortless. Not in a way like, wow, that looks effortless, as in like you didn't put effort into it, because really you didn't much if you've just used, like they said, a file and it printed something. Woodwork is where it's at for Rosie, I believe, and I do think she should have a little bit of self-reflection, a little bit of take feedback from the people that were trying to give genuinely good feedback. I don't think it was just bad luck she didn't sell anything. I think it was because it did look pretty terrible. Okay, let me know your opinions down below as always. Subscribe if you have not already. Give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.